Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Antoinette if you are new here, and as you may see from the title of today's video, I'll just be sharing my base routine with you guys. I've gotten so many compliments on the way that I've done my makeup lately, and I was like, I want to share with my friends on the tubies. So without further ado, please do keep on watching. Alright you guys, so for my base routine, I've said it in videos before, your makeup essentially starts and ends with skincare. So the way that you prep your skin is very important. I've been using the CeraVe Hydrating Facial Cleanser. Actually low-key used to be my husband's, but he's like, you can have it. And so ever since then I've been using it, and I absolutely love this product for sure. Very gentle, mild cleanser. It doesn't make the skin feel like it's stripped. It's super duper clean, hydrated in that regard. The skin's been skinning lately, you guys, and I would like to think that it's this product for sure. I feel like personally this has been a really great staple in my skincare routine, let alone how my makeup applies. So this is the Ordinary Niacinamide 10% plus zinc 1%. I've seen an improvement with my skin texture, blemishes, as well as like if I happen to have any sort of dark marks or hyperpigmentation. I feel like this has really helped. It comes in this little Doppler situation here. I don't know if that's the actual term for it or not, but I just kind of like to add this to my skin and just kind of rub it in all over. And I also like to put this on my neck. See, I kind of have like a little bit of darkness right there. Like, give it a couple weeks, I feel like this will be faded for the most part, but this has definitely helped your girl in fading the dark marks from my pimples for sure. So the next product, you guys, that I thoroughly have been enjoying, this is kind of a newer product, but I feel like ever since I start incorporating this, I feel like I've been getting the most compliments when it comes to my base routine. This is the Belief the True Cream Aqua Bomb Sunscreen SPF 45. This is a lightweight moisturizer with sun protection. Absolutely love this down, you guys. So I just put it on like normal, glides on like butter. I like to do this even when I'm not wearing makeup, but for sure, you guys, this does not leave a white cast. As you see here, you can clearly see how that's gone on clear. My skin looks super duper hydrated. Yeah, you guys, so like I really do like it. I love the way it makes my skin feel overall. This is a wonderful product, and then you guys, I actually found this at Marshall's, so like this is something that I'm definitely going to continue to rebuy. All right, you guys, so we are going to go ahead and apply our makeup. Your girl has been highly enjoying the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. Love this primer down for sure. As you can see, it's like that gel-like consistency. It's going to dry down a little bit tacky, just so that it gives our foundation concealers something to stick to. So essentially, your girl is definitely a foundation before brows girl. So I have thoroughly been enjoying the e.l.f. Soft Glam, the satin foundation. I've also been mixing it with the Makeup by Mario. This is their Surreal Skin Foundation. This is in the shade 140. This is in the shade 40 Tan Warm. I really have been enjoying these two products together, you guys, and I feel like it just gives like a beautiful coverage and a finish. I can say that I hadn't really been picking up foundation a lot lately, but I actually used this makeup combination when I had got married because I kind of wanted a little bit more of a fuller coverage, and I chose these two in particular because I feel like this particular shade's a little bit lighter. I decided just to mix it with this one a little bit on the darker side. So I was like, let's just add the two. So I am just going to add a little bit. And as you can see, the shades are definitely two different shades. Regardless of that, I really have been enjoying the way this little foundation concoction has been making my makeup look. So all I've been doing, I've been using a dry sponge, and I just kind of mix the two foundations together on the back of my hand, and it gives me a pretty decent shade match for the most part. I just kind of like do a couple swipes of the foundation on my skin like that, and right there, and then just kind of putting the rest of it on my face. And so when I do that, I'm just gonna go ahead and pat this into my skin. Make sure you get around the crease of your nose. I feel like that's a spot people tend to forget when you're applying foundation. So I am just going to blend all of this out. And I feel like it just gives like a beautiful satin finish. What I like to do, I know I do have like a graininess around the eye, so it is darker in that area. A couple reasons. One, your girl is a night owl. We don't be sleeping the way we should be sleeping for sure. And two, I think a lot of it has to do with like hereditary. Like I am naturally darker in this area, but I feel like it's been a little bit exaggerated lately. But with that being said, we're definitely going to use some concealer in that area to kind of brighten up our under eye. But I don't typically put the foundation in that area just because I do not want that to be cakey. To be seamless, I want it to be smooth, and as smooth as it can be. Like, you know, I do have a few little lines underneath my eye, so we don't want to make too much emphasis by putting too much product in that area. And I just love the way these two formulas pair beautifully. For concealer, your girl has been thoroughly enjoying Hourglass Vanish concealer. This is in the shade Dune. I think it's 7.5. Your girl done picked up another one because I've gone through several of these since I tried it out, and I love this product down. This one is kind of like running out, but it's super duper full coverage for the most part. But we're just going to put some of this concealer right in here to cover up our dark circles. A little raccoon eyeball. I put some on my chin. I like to put a little around my mouth. And I put some here on my forehead. Just gonna go ahead and blend her out. And like I said, I do have the graininess around the eye, so you can kind of see that in action of how well that got covered. Like, that's amazing, you guys. Like, okay, like look at that. Look at this eye compared to this eye and how well that covered. I really do like it. I feel like it covers up a lot, especially like if you're looking for like a full glam situation. So that's that. I kind of want to give you guys, share my skin. As you might see, for the most part, I feel like my skin right now looks kind of on the dewier side. It's not cakey. I feel like my skin is very breathable. You can still see like some of my moles. I got a couple moles here. I do have texture on my skin, as you can see. So yes, makeup is going to essentially sit on top of that. But I feel like the way that we prepped our skin underneath to where I don't feel like my makeup is like clinging onto the texture to the point where it looks kind of cakey. I didn't do my eyebrows because they kind of like low-key fading away. Our girl found the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. I got this one in the shade of Espresso. I did do a video recently on this because I love the Anastasia Beverly Hill Brow Wiz pencil, and she's just so expensive, you guys. So I was trying to find a dupe, and I feel like this is probably the closest dupe that I was able to find. and I absolutely love this pencil down. Not only for the price, but it really does what I need it to do, you know, and that is to fill in the brow. So my brow routine, you guys, it ain't nothing special. I ain't doing nothing too special. So all I really do, you guys, when it comes to my brows, I just kind of draw two lines. I start right here, and line up my eye duct to the top of my brow, and I kind of start there, and then I just kind of draw my little line up into here. And essentially here is going to line up for the most part with my pupil, kind of sort of in that regard. And then to finish out the tail, so I'm just kind of go up, and now I'm going to draw out to the tail of my brow. And we don't want to extend our tail too far, so what I like to do, I just kind of do that. Whatever this is to you. I don't know if I'm explaining this well or not. But from the end of your eyeball to the tip of the eyebrow tail, essentially, we don't want the tip to go too far out. So this is kind of like our indicator of where to stop. And then for the top, all I do is just kind of do the same thing. I start where my hair on my eyebrow is, kind of do like a little line there, and I just kind of like connect the two essentially. And so it kind of leaves like an outline of my brow. And then I like to use this little spoolie situation, and we just go into town. And we're just literally spoolieing out the line that we created at the bottom. And we're just brushing it up. And then now we're going to do the top. So we're just going to kind of brush the top as well. And this is probably one of the quicker ways to do my brows. Brows are done. And I'm not going to sit here and say like my brows are always perfect, because no, because sometimes they're not. But for the most part, that's what I do with my brows. And I find it being one of the easier ways to do brows. I feel like one side is actually darker than the other. So if that's happened, I just kind of continue to spoolie. My base routine, I like to use like a cream bronzer. I've been thoroughly enjoying this one in particular. This is from Chanel, the Les Beige bronzer. I actually tried this out once on my channel, some little makeup video I did. I can't remember which one. It's in the shade Tan Deep Bronze. So I just kind of get like a little angled brush, and I like to kind of put this around the perimeter of my face, because with the foundation we've made our face very flat. So with the creaming contour bronzer situation, we're going to add a little bit of depth, dimension, and shadow into our skin with this bronzing cream. What I like to particularly do, kind of like to start on my little 5 head. Placement essentially is going to be where the sun is going to be hitting your forehead. So as you can see here, this is pretty much where the sun's going to be hitting us naturally, and a little bit into my hairline, but not too crazily, if that makes any sense. And then from here, I like to kind of bring this down about there, about halfway. Not going to be too crazy. And from here, I'll use whatever that I have left on my brush, and I'll kind of run it down my jawline. And that's just going to add a little more depth and dimension to my jawline, essentially, without it being too harsh, because it's still kind of warm, you know. I used to not like blushes because I felt like they made an emphasis on the texture of my skin. I've been thoroughly enjoying these little babies. This is from Huda Beauty. This is their mini blush filters. So this one is in strawberry cream, and then this one is in black cherry. I really do like these for sure. You can kind of do like an ombre situation. I'm just going to do a little swipe there, a little swipe there, and I want to kind of put it up on my cheeks versus down. I feel like this one might be a little too far down because I'm looking at my viewfinder. I'm like, wait a second. They're not matching, but it's okay. So we are just kind of creating an ombre effect of our blushes. So I'm gonna just kind of put that one there. And then I'm going to put this one there. I usually do better placement, but I don't think it was a good idea looking at my viewfinder for that. And then I kind of like to get a little dense brush situation. And I am just going to kind of like blend these two, as you can see here. Although I feel like I might have blended it out a little too far down. So hopefully I do this side better. Yeah. Okay, you can kind of see the difference. You can see with blush placement, this side kind of can drag your face down a little bit because it is kind of closer here. This side, your blush is going to be more so lifting your face. And I guess that's a good representation of me blending it incorrectly. You can kind of see the difference of what blush can do to your face essentially by placement. I really do like the way this looks, but because I do have oily skin, I do like to kind of like make my face a little bit matte. But I feel like as time progresses, especially with being oily, the oils are naturally going to kind of seep through, but it's not going to be overbearing. So for that, your girl has been thoroughly enjoying the Huda Beauty powders. This one's in the shade Peach Pie. I love this powder down, you guys. Ever since I tried it on my channel, I have not put this powder down. And I didn't think there would be another powder that could come close to the powder that I normally was using, which was the Fenty Beauty, the Pro Filter powder. This one has been my go-to for years. I still love this powder down for sure. Love the overall finish that this product gives to my makeup. And what I've been doing, I've been using these little powder puff situations. Like I said, I kind of put a little bit of the powder into the top already. I'm going to tap my puff into it. I like to tap my puff onto the back of my hand to kind of take away some of the excess powder because we don't want to make it go gloppy or whatever. So I like to kind of start, actually before I start, I like to kind of make sure that everything is creaseless. So I always kind of make sure I go back with my beauty blender around the places that I either have maybe some fine line situations, or because we don't necessarily want to set lines or creases. And I like to kind of put a little bit of the powder right underneath the eye. And I don't necessarily do the baking method anymore. I just like to kind of press this into my skin, and as you might see here, it just kind of gives like a very poreless, minimalist, like it just does the thing for your girl. And that for the most part is my base. I actually ran out of the Charlotte Tilbury spray. I usually do that. I'll do like a couple sprays and then I kind of let it sit for a second, and then I go over it with a pressed powder. This is the dual finish multitasking powder. This one you can particularly use wet or dry because I don't have any more Charlotte right now. I've been using the Milk Makeup. This is the Pore Eclipse Mattifying Setting Spray. So just do a little shake 1-2, and I'm just going to spray down my face. I really do feel like I'm getting sprayed with a water gun when I use this. I don't know what's wrong with the sprayer. Get the little puff thing that it comes with, and I just kind of press this into certain parts of my skin. So I like to put this on my chin here. I like to kind of put this down the bridge of my nose. And not directly underneath my eye, but just kind of like in this area here, because this is where I tend to get the most oiliest. So literally I'm just kind of like doing it in my T-zone. to kind of combat some of my oil, but it's also light enough of a formula and foundation to where it doesn't look super duper cakey, at least on me. So I don't put a lot. I just kind of do like a little dab. I really have been enjoying the Maybelline Colossal Bubble Mascara. It honestly is almost like any other mascara that I've used, but I really have been enjoying it, if that makes any sense. In this mascara on TikTok, and it made me want to try it. I like to do like a light exfoliation on my lips with like a dry towel, or you can wet it a little bit. Just don't scrub too much because you don't want your lips to like fall off. So but I like the Summer Fridays. This is their lip butter balm. I got this, I think, for my birthday as like my birthday gift in Sephora. Nice like little butter situation. And that, you guys, is essentially your girl's base makeup routine that I've been getting so many compliments on when I do my makeup this particular way. Hopefully this video was helpful. If not, I'm sorry, but this is just kind of how I've been doing my base makeup and or a little bit more of a fuller coverage situation as of lately, and a lot of the products that your girl has been enjoying. So this is it, you guys. I truly do hope you all have a wonderful, safe, and blessed week. And we shall see you guys all in my next video. Bye, you guys.